Hello and welcome back to another episode of Author Talks. Last time when I was talking to you, we were discussing the books in my library, but today we have another one. It was just added. The new Chronicle of Ryer Revelations, or in this case, the Ryer Chronicles. Even I get it confused sometimes. In this episode, this is the third one, and this, what you can see here, is actually a proof. Meaning that this was done so that I could see how it came out and make sure that it looks all good. And as it happens, there are a few mistakes. So this one isn't ready to go quite yet. But the ebooks are going out, and the print books hopefully will be out in, I believe, mid-November, hopefully earlier, depending how long it takes for them to print. And the audio book will be, I'll be going to New York to oversee some of the production on that in mid-November. So there's that to look forward to. So in case you're wondering what I've been up to, this has been most of it. Getting this out has been a Herculean effort to get it out as fast as we did. Now, in addition to that, this last few weeks I've also been teaching a class for Writer's Digest on fantasy and science fiction. And this last weekend, I was also pretending to be an author in New York. So if you've been reading my blog, you know that I have trouble seeing myself or thinking of myself as an author. I mean, my life isn't hardly any more different than it was when I was writing as a hobby, so it's really kind of hard for me to think of myself as being, a quote-unquote author in the style of Hemingway or Fitzgerald or any of, the ones that you would think of. But this last weekend, I had the opportunity to kind of pretend to be one because I got to go to New York for the Robin Hobb Coffee Clutch meet and greet. It's a very long name. Where that comes from is the fact that Robin Hobb, when she goes to a convention or when she's traveling, she'll often go to a site, say like a Denny's or a Starbucks, and she'll invite her fans to come and see her and sign some books. This is good for people who can't necessarily get to the convention. She made a habit of this, and then when after Comic-Con, I believe it was last year, she was going to do the same thing in New York, and her publisher, Del Rey, offered to hold it in the Random House building. It went over very well, and so this year they did it again, except for two different changes. One was that Robin Hobb wasn't there, and I was. So the adventure began with a 5-hour bus ride to New York. Once we got there, we collapsed in our hotel room that night, and the next morning we got up, had breakfast, and went off to Random House. Now, Random House is Midtown, where it has a nice big glass front building and a rather stark lobby as you walk in. Upon arriving, we went up to meet my editor, and she took us to the Coffee Clutch. It was held in a large event space, big open windows, it was a sunny day, great weather, and I was able to meet people like Naomi Novik and Terry Brooks, who I'd never met before, which was very fun, especially since I had just gotten done reading Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which was a great book, and I was able to tell her that, which is always fun. I also got to meet old friends such as Mike Cole, who now has a big beard. You'll see him in some of the pictures here. And I also got to meet in person Sean Speakman, who I've known for a long time on the internet, but never actually met in person. Around 11 o'clock, they let the readers in, and some of them had my books. I got to sit at a table with a stack of Rise of Empires, which was given and donated by Orbit for giveaway and signings, which was great. Thank you to them. And we had some people bring in bags from old books of mine to sign. In the midst of all this, Tim Gerard Reynolds stopped by for a cameo appearance. If you don't know, he is the voice of Royce and Hadrian, the performer of all of my Ryer audiobooks. And it was great seeing him again, and I hope to seeing him soon in November when I get to work on that. And rather, when he gets to work on that and I get to watch what an amazing job he does. So that's kind of what I did for 48 hours I got to pretend to be an author. I got to hobnob with famous people. And that's what I've been up to.